Two dragon flames quickly surrounded Leon, forming a huge magic circle. Soon, there was a huge explosion from the place where Leon was just now, emitting a particularly bright purple light. The immense power of dragon flame also blew up a huge deep pit on the ground. The flying dust combined with sand to form thick smoke. This made it difficult to see what happened to Leon. Suddenly, a blue lightning bolt appeared in the thick smoke. Immediately afterwards, Leon rushed out from the thick smoke. He leaped high and left the smoke behind. He was wrapped in many blue lightning bolts. He gave a confident smile to Roswitha. "Isn't it too slow, Roswitha?" The strong wind brought by Leon, when he rushed out, scattered Roswitha's hair. She noticed the electric current on Leon's body, and couldn't help but be surprised by him. She knew Leon was using magic to force himself to get stronger again. This guy strengthened his body with thunder magic. Leon stomped heavily on the ground with his right foot, adjusted his direction, and prepared to attack in the direction of her. No one can take away my 1-month holiday. His right foot stomped hard on the ground, and he flew in the direction of Roswitha with a serious expression. There was even more lightning on his body than just a moment ago. It was obvious that Leon had strengthened his body with thunder magic again. For the sake of this hard-won month's holiday, Leon decided that he was going to go out on a limb. Leon threw a few quick punches at Roswitha. His punches were so fast, almost like lightning, and it's almost impossible to see his fist and the direction of his fist. Roswitha gritted her teeth, carefully observing while quickly blocking Leon's fist with both hands. However, due to Leon's speed being too fast, she was now slightly feeling the strain. She frowned tightly, stopping Leon's attack while feeling a little worried about Leon's current use of magic to strengthen his body. After all, Leon's body hadn't fully recovered yet. Even though his current body cannot withstand the strengthening of thunder magic, he still behaves so recklessly. I need to end the fight quickly. She began to think about ways to quickly end this duel. She's exposed. Leon smiled softly. He saw the strained expression on Roswitha's face, and knew that she was now somewhat unable to carry his attack. He noticed that her mind was somewhat elsewhere. He had a chance to give her the final blow. He stopped his attack and extended his left foot, sweeping towards Roswitha's feet. At this moment, Roswitha realized that Leon had attacked her in a different way. She didn't expect him to attack from under her feet. She wanted to dodge, but it was already too late. She tripped over Leon's foot and lost her balance a bit. Roswitha struggled to lean back, trying to dodge Leon's next attack. She wanted to find an opportunity to attack, but the current situation made it impossible for her to fight back. Leon gathered all the thunder magic onto his right fist and extended it towards Roswitha. He looked at her firmly, with a confident smile on his face, as if expressing to her that the victory was determined. I won. Roswitha was originally going to lean back, and then find a chance to stand firm, blocking Leon's punch towards her. However, due to Leon's sudden attack on her, she was unable to maintain balance. Her hand reached into the air, and she was about to fall to the ground. Leon, who was about to give her the final blow, noticed that she was unable to fight back, and there was a risk of injury. So he immediately stopped attacking. Leon restrained his thunder magic and reached out to grab her. He pulled hard and pulled her back in his direction, as she was about to fall. After pulling Roswitha up, they changed their standing direction. Leon placed his hand on her waist and supported her to prevent her from losing balance again. He held her firmly in his arms. Roswitha's twin peaks touched Leon's chest. She felt the warmth coming from him, which made her feel little tempted. This scene seems like a plot from a romance novel. Leon and Roswitha's faces were both flushed. They all looked at each other affectionately. Leon slowly approached Roswitha. Roswitha said softly, "Leon." Just as Leon was immersed in what seemed like a romantic atmosphere, Roswitha quietly extended the dragon flame gathered in her hand to Leon's chest. It was then that Leon sensed something was wrong. He lowered his head and saw that his chest had been burned by dragon flame. "Ah, it's burning!" Leon looked nervously at the burning dragon flame in his chest and shouted loudly. He immediately let go of Roswitha and tried to extinguish it with his hands, but the dragon flame seemed to be getting stronger and stronger. Leon was somewhat at a loss about this. Suddenly, Leon discovered a problem. Although it was burned, he didn't seem to feel his chest hot. "Huh? This fire doesn't feel that hot?" He lowered his head and saw that Roswitha's dragon flame had slowly begun to disappear. The fabric on the chest was only partially burned, leaving some burnt marks. Roswitha had adjusted her mood. She stood behind him, arms crossed, and looked at him seriously. She was dissatisfied with his attitude just now. "The fight is not over yet. How can you distract yourself?" Hearing the loud explosion of dragon flame landing on the ground, Noah and Muin put down their snacks and walked over. Due to the smoke just now surrounding Leon and Roswitha, they couldn't see who won. Muin raised his head and curiously asked Leon and Roswitha, "Dad, Mom, who won in the end?" Although Leon doesn't want to admit it, the fact is right in front of him. He had no reason to defend himself, so he had to admit defeat. He pouted and said, "Finally, I am careless. I lost this time." Roswitha closed her eyes and softly praised him. "I have to admit that you are indeed very strong. You don't have enchanted armor or handy weapons. You can fight me like this just by relying on your physical skills. Before you, no one had ever been able to do it." Leon clenched his fists and said to her with some reluctance, "Humph, isn't that right? If I fight with all my might, I can definitely beat you." Since Roswitha has won against Leon, Leon must meet her demands. Roswitha gave him a sly smile. "Now that you've admitted defeat, don't forget our bet." Roswitha's words were like a sharp arrow, piercing straight into Leon's body. He seemed to have been attacked by tens of thousands of points. Just now, all he was thinking about was pulling up the soon-to-fall Roswitha, completely ignoring the bet. "I forgot about the bet." As soon as Leon thought of being manipulated by Roswitha, he felt that his body was about to be at risk again. He lay on the ground, feeling like his soul was about to leave him. Noah and Muin crouched beside them, curiously looking at their father on the ground. Muin raised a question to Roswitha. Mom, did Dad die? Roswitha stood beside them, smiling at them, and replied, Don't worry. He just used his strength too much and fainted due to exhaustion. He will recover soon.
Hey! Have you heard about it? SF Light Novel is going to share a new comic. I have already shared a new comic. The name of this comic is The Blonde-Haired Villain. In Girl Overlord novel, also longs for happiness. I have already shared the relevant content of this comic in this video. You can click on this video to learn about the comic story and character information. If you are interested, you can subscribe to my channel and wait for the sharing of new comic.